Hey guys, want to do a video this morning. But first, before I start it, I want to tell you, I done a video the other day, and it was called, like the eyes were heavy or the eyes on me or something like that. I really felt like something was in there watching me. I had a very uncomfortable feeling. I get those, but not to the point to where I leave. And this was one of them times to where I did not feel comfortable and I actually left. And that is very, very rare for me. And I didn't think anything about it really, until a lot of you viewers started breaking the film down and you started seeing things. We believe there is a juvenile uh, Sasquatch, Dogman, something in the video. I spoke with Red Dirt Cryptid a little bit, sent him the photos. He agrees that it looks like there may be a juvenile caught. So you will want to check that video out. Go through it slowly. People are saying there's a lot of things moving in that video that I did not catch. I'll put the link to it in the description. Number two, I've been really busy. A lot of y'all said, where have you been? Where have you been? I've put out quite a few videos on this channel, but also I have another channel that I'm running with my son. It is almost monetized. We've worked really hard on it. It's an outdoor channel, survival, prepping, catch, cook, clean, gardening, whatever we do mostly. And we're on a mission right now to try to eat every freshwater fish in Oklahoma before the end of the season. So if y'all would like to join that, help us get it up and going even stronger than what it is. We're really close to having it monetized. We just need a few more hours. And so a lot of my time is back and forth. It'll also give you all views of places you may not see on my other channel because we fish in places that we do not cryptid hunt, and you'll be able to see more of the outdoors of where we're at. We're going to talk about Momo, the Missouri Monster, today, and I have some ideas on him. We're also going to do a live on him June 2nd. I think Momo may be a creature that has been misidentified in many locations and may be responsible for a lot of other important sightings, I believe. So we'll move on to that. Momo, the Missouri Monster. In the summer of 1972, a tall, dark, and hairy creature terrified a family, and shortly thereafter became a celebrity in the towns of Louisiana, Missouri, and Oklahoma. Now, the 1970s seemed to be a very active time during that time. I know my granny's was active during that time, very active. So something was going on during that time, I think, that was causing the cryptids to be a lot more active. As most explained in a webinar, Momo was first seen by an 8-year-old Terry, 15-year-old Doris Harrison in their backyard near what is today called Maroff Hill Park in Pike County. You know, it always seems like the kids are always the ones that are either see this creature or have an encounter. And I don't know if it allows the children to see it. I know the encounters, when we would go fishing, it would mostly always go after the kids. It would always throw sticks at the kids, pebbles at the kids. It would make the crying baby sounds, the baby kittens, the cows, anything it could do to get the kids' attention. So I still believe that it is very, very intrigued and attracted to kids and women. According to the article in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch from 1972, the creature was about 7 foot tall and stood upright on 2 feet. It gave the putrid odor of mold and old garbage, and it growled sounded like a bear. We also know that a lot of people hear that. I know that down at my granny's, whenever it would come around, we would have that strong, nasty odor, and you would hear the growling and the grunting and the deep breathing as it walked around the house. So that's very common with him also. Terry Harris was playing outside when he spotted the creature standing near a tree, so he screamed and ran inside. The scream alerted Doris Harrison, who peered out the window and saw Momo also. When the parents arrived home, a search party of local law enforcement, highway patrol, conservation agents, and even politicians set out to find the monster, to no avail. They did find footprints that were 3-toed in the woods. These things love to use trees to hide. I also have found that out. But the legend was far from over. The story reverberated through the community. Other sightings alleged Momo stood 12 feet tall with a pumpkin-shaped head, red eyes, and a scream growl that lasted several seconds. One teenager claimed that Momo lifted up his car with superhuman strength while the teenager was sitting inside it. 12 feet is a very tall encounter, The scream and growls lasting for several seconds. I have heard that, and if you're down there in the dark, it feels like it's never going to end. Momo accumulated national press coverage and brought visitors to Louisiana to see Momo for themselves. Once a monster, Momo became a booster for a small town, iconic symbol, advertisers, and everybody started making hamburgers named after him and everything like that. Oddly enough, the Harrisons did not capitalize on the encounter. Instead, Harrison's kids and their mother initially refused to return to their house. Sound like the Fouke monster attack? They had only lived there, I think, a week, maybe 3 at the most, and they refused to go back and moved also. Maybe it's the same creature is what I'm wondering. Momo, short for Missouri monster, was reported to have large pumpkin-shaped head with black furry hair covering its body, and so much fur on its forehead that its face could not be seen with the exception of glowing orange or red eyes. This 7-foot tall, hairy beast was first seen on the edge of the woods just outside of town by the young boys and their sister. It smelled terrible and was carrying a dead dog under its arms, glowing eyes, face covered. It was weird. Again, I've said I have felt like dogs in towns and other things may be a food source for these creatures. Coyotes howl, dogs in town will howl. That will give away their location, and you can hear them everywhere in town when they do that. If dogs are a food source for these creatures, that could explain the attacks in towns. They're going after the dogs, a human gets in the way, so the human becomes the prey. That's another theory I've been working on. Following the children's first sighting of Momo, more people reported having seen the beast in the last few weeks followed. Reports stated that they seen it up and down the Mississippi River, with later sightings occurring further west along the other waterways. Others reported having caught fleeting glimpses of something in the woods that was watching them from behind the trees. Beastly cries, growls similar to a bear, but were inhuman screams. One of the witnesses was Richard Allen Murray, a lifelong local who had served in the town's fire chief and sat on the city council. He reported that he was driving along a small creek that runs through the middle of town. He saw something moving in the woods. When his headlights fell upon the creature ran away fastly, about 3 steps across the highway. I thought it was a bunch of nonsense, but what I saw was definitely something out of the ordinary. Tracks were found and submitted to the Lawrence Curtis, director of the Oklahoma City Zoo, who deemed the tracks that of an unknown primate species with 3 toes. A lot of the tracks, even in Fouke, Arkansas, during the Fouke monster attack, were 3-toed. Louisiana Rougarou, 3 toes, some of them. In Oklahoma, along the Kiamichi Mountains, if I said that right, I'm probably butchering that, 3 toes. I'm wondering if a lot of these sightings wasn't this one creature following a trail or something that was migrating or moving or something. I believe Momo might have been misidentified, and he might have been maybe the one that attacked the Fords in their house. And if he was, that would show that he was violent to a point. But we're going to talk about that on a live on June 2nd. Hope to see you guys there with your opinions and everything. But I wanted to show you this. I thought it was very important, and I'm going to go ahead and push it out today so y'all can watch it. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Prayers for us today as we got heavy thunderstorms coming, possibly severe with tornadoes. Hoping that doesn't happen. But again, guys, thank you very much for everything you do on both channels. It means the world to us seeing y'all subscribe, comment. We love the interaction. Come watch us make some good food on the other one if you're nothing else to do on a cold, rainy day. And as always, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. Oh, and until we see you next time, but I got to add this. I am going back to the river place where it felt heavy, and I want to go in there in the dark. So that will be a good one. Take care, guys.